What up, and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Max streaming service remake movie Salem's Lot. Let's rock this. Okay, right off the bat, this remake of Stephen King's classic vampire story scares me to my core. I'm telling ya. We all remember the previous 1979 adaptation, right? That one was already scary enough to make you not want to go to the kitchen by yourself at night. Well, this one is way more terrifying by comparison. Yes, the nostalgia is part of it, but it also brings in a new approach cinematically in terms of how the terror builds up and maintains its momentum in under just 2-hour runtime. Sure, Ben Mears' emotional journey with his book research and the mystery about his family kinda gets cut short once the vampires kick in, so to speak. But ultimately, it doesn't bother me because I see it more as him refocusing or reshifting his purpose. The dialogues, for the most part, also leave much to be desired, occasionally absurd and simplistic when they're talking about vampires. So, it's obvious that the story and the character development have been kind of stripped down to make more room for just chilling thrills. But guess what? The thrills work. They are effective as fuck. New Line Cinema's film adaptation of Stephen King's 1975 best-selling novel Salem's Lot reunites the producing teams behind the record-breaking horror franchises The Conjuring universe and the It films. Gary Dauberman writes, directs, and executive produces the film. Producers are James Wan and Michael Clear for Atomic Monster, Roy Lee for Vertigo, and Mark Wolper. Author Ben Mears returns to his childhood home of Jerusalem's Lot in search of inspiration for his next book, only to discover his hometown is being preyed upon by a bloodthirsty vampire. Starring Lewis Pullman, Alfre Woodard, Mackenzie Lee, Bill Camp, Spencer Treat Clark, Philo Asbake, and John Benjamin Hickey. I was worried at first, thinking that this remake would set the story in present day, perhaps. Thankfully, that's not the case. It's a couple of decades since the war, and it's a small New England town that cares more about maintaining its peace rather than actually doing any type of progress. And the vintage set designs, hairstyles, and costumes look incredibly authentic and convincing. What I enjoy the most about this new version is that it's not afraid to take you, the audiences, into the dark. If I remember correctly, the 1979 miniseries was often brightly lit, even during the night scenes, to where you could see Barlow in full form. Whereas in this one, Barlow is a menacing entity that sneaks up and creeps up on you in total darkness. And that gets me jumpy every single time. Barlow's amount of screen time is about the same as the original old TV movie, which is very minimal. But in this one, whenever Barlow appears, for however brief it may be, he's like a snake that strikes and bites within split seconds. And his victim screams throughout the feeding process is what will traumatize your ears. Gary Dauberman directed this film by creating an atmospheric suspense, especially with how every time it's daytime, they always only have a few minutes left till sundown. So they never actually get to enjoy the complete 12 hours. So that sense of urgency, when light is constantly on short supply, helps in increasing the pulse-pounding intensity. Some of the supporting characters are underdeveloped. The romance of Ben and Susan is just a tease that never becomes anything substantive. And the idea of the kid becoming a hero who could kill so fast, so easily, is way too improbable. Performance-wise, it's not really something that Lewis, Alfre, Mackenzie, and Bill are required to do too much of. But each of them did their roles fully knowing that they are contributing to a thrill-ride horror bloodfest, no more no less. And there's no deeper meaningful theme going on here other than vampires taking over the town and the town fights back. Pretty straightforward and entertaining, I might add. So yeah, overall I give Salem's Lot the rating of 4 out of 5. If you're not easily scared, this movie should do the trick. And if you are easily scared, then this movie will frighten the hell out of you. because Salem's Lot is the stuff of nightmares.
You better take care if I find you've been creeping round my back stairs.